Hey lovelies, you're welcome back to Reviews and Recaps. Now let's talk about Angela Oakley, honey. Angela Oakley is being accused of being a fraud and she responded. So I want to get into that in a second. I also want to talk a little bit about how Andy responded to the point that Kenya made about being disinvited from the reunion. So we're going to get into it in a second, but please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Tap that bell button right next to it so you know every single time that I post. And yeah, let's get into it. First of all, shout out to Lipstick Alley and Kempire, okay, for this tea. Now, according to lipstickalley.com, there's a lot we don't know about Angela, allegedly, okay? Everything I say is alleged, in my opinion, for entertainment purposes only. Now, apparently, there's a lot we do not know about Angela, allegedly. So apparently, we don't know her age, we don't know her nose, we don't know her dubious financial past, okay? Apparently, she is also known as Angela Dion Reed. She was engaged in financial crime during her time as a financial analyst at what is now known as Wells Fargo, right? So apparently she had to resign from the bank and is permanently banned by the Financial Industry Regulation Authority. So what they're trying to say is apparently when she was working at Wachovia Bank, which is now Wells Fargo, basically she would process a bank loan of $17,000 in her cousin's grandmother's name without authorization. Apparently, then she used 11,000 of it to pay her mortgage, and the remaining 6 was shared between her and her cousin. And no payments were made on the loan, and eventually the bank wrote off the loan as at a loss. Apparently, at the hearing for this event, she tried to blame the financial crime and dishonesty on the passing of her daughter's dad, but it was rejected, and then she ended up getting a lifetime ban by the authority. She was also fined $1,214. And then 6 years after being banned, she marries Charles Oakley while she was heavily pregnant, and then continues to engage in financial activities. That is crazy work. Imagine that is the truth. That is some nasty work. Imagine doing that and then you're now still portraying yourself as someone who still has your license and you're operating in a financial capacity. That is very concerning. At this point, it feels like Real Housewives of Atlanta, people don't be doing no background checks. Or maybe they know people are a little bit shady, but they're hoping that that would play out on the show. Now, apparently she is currently the chief financial officer of Oakley Financials, and she's managing high net worth individuals despite the fraudulent financial history. That is so weird. If that is the truth, girl, you are in some serious mess when they find out. I hope you don't go to jail for this. I really wish that people will understand that if you're going to come on a reality TV show, you need to be ready for your life to be exposed. They are going to expose everything. So if you have any dirty little secrets, anything that can be found, no matter how much you scrub it, if it's on the internet, it lives on the internet and it will be on the internet forever. No amount of scrubbing will fix it. That is the saddest part of the whole thing. And I feel like the internet really is forever, to be honest, because when you think about the fact that whatever you've done, even as a child or a teenager, whatever it is, no matter if it had made its way onto the internet, it is probably going to be on that internet forever. So I am surprised that she would even have the audacity to be bringing up the fact that Brit couldn't have lost her license just like that. I'm like, girl, do you know something? Do you know something about the license thing because you lost something like that? Is that what this is? And if that's the case, then you should have said it then. This is the thing. You have to volunteer your tea before someone says it, before someone brings it out. Because when you stand at the forefront and you're the person actually volunteering that information, what usually happens is people feel like you are transparent. They feel like they can trust you because you decided to get before it and speak your truth. But the problem is when you don't speak your truth and you don't start it off and, be proactive about it, then people just automatically feel like they can't trust you and that you're dishonest. And I think that is all it boils down to. So I wish that she would have just been honest and said it, or at least not have gone so hard on Brit, because if she hadn't gone so hard on Brit about the license, maybe no one would have brought this up. But the fact that she did, people are probably like, let's go look her up. Let's go see her background. What's there that we can find? This is just my opinion on what I think happened. Now, what I think is interesting also is she responded, right? And she did famous post and delete. She basically said, you all give me my tea, I can spill it better. This is FINRA. I've always been licensed and knew it would take to be investigated and knew what it would take to be investigated. All my licenses are intact. So from her perspective, she's saying like she did not lose no license. She knows what it takes to be investigated. She ain't hiding nothing, and that's just that. But what I think is interesting is that she deleted it. And my question is, why did you delete it? Is there more to the story that we need to hear and understand? Are you deleting it because it's the truth and you don't want us to have this tweet that basically shows you to be a liar when everything finally comes out? So these are the questions that I have. If she's still lying about it and decided to tweet, then she is even dumber than I thought she was. Because knowing fully well that people have this information, you coming out to be like, oh, it's all a lie, knowing fully well that if someone really wanted to sit down and do some investigation, they will find out what the truth is. Like, girl, I don't think she gets that a lot of people work overtime. They are not playing out here. The Real Housewives of Atlanta fans do not play, baby. They will find out whatever tea that you have, they will find it out. Now, let's talk about Andy. Andy was asked about Kenya, saying she was invited and then disinvited. And Andy was basically like, oh, I need to watch the whole video. I have not seen it yet. Andy is good at deflecting, honey. It was a masterclass at how to not answer the question. Andy was like, yeah, no, I haven't watched the full video yet. I have not seen it. I just saw some clips. Okay, the question is, did you know whether she was invited or disinvited, honey? Like, that is the question. But Andy definitely was trying to avoid answering the questions. Even the person that was interviewing basically asked, is Kenya coming back? The fans love her. Andy was like, yeah, he loves her too. And there's so much of this season left. And Phaedra comes in at like 5 weeks and it's a jam. The fans are going to love it. And I'm just like, okay, so you're doing everything but answering the question yet again. Instead, he tries to bring the focus to the current season of Real Housewives of Atlanta and how we are supposedly going to love the rest of the season. If you want to learn how to deflect and not answer a direct question, go and watch Andy's video. Like, he was literally deflecting the whole time. Watch when TMZ approaches Andy to ask about Kenya. He was deflecting, going round left, right, center. Like, he was not answering a simple direct question. He could have literally said yes, no, no, that's not exactly what happened. This is what happened. Instead, he was talking about, he hasn't watched her YouTube video, was talking about, oh, well, watch the rest of the season. Phaedra is coming. He was just trying to deflect. And I guess it worked because he did not answer the question. But what do you guys think? I know Andy gets a lot of bad rep, but I do think it's not just Andy that will make that decision. Yes, his input might have been in it, but I think it's beyond just Andy. I think that a bunch of people at the top had conversations about it, and I feel like Kenya did not do herself justice by not addressing things using the proper channels when she wasn't getting a response about the comment that Brit made. I think that she should have just brought her lawyer, got her lawyer to write to them, handled it formally. She did not do that. The problem is now Brit did that, and the production and the higher ups, right, the network, were put in a difficult position. It's like, of course, this person is already showing you like, if this continues, if no consequences are taken, there will be some legal action. What are you going to do? Let's be honest. Chances are you're going to err on the side of caution and do what you feel you must do. I'm sure this was done based on legal advice to try to protect the network itself. So anyways, let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to like, share, hit that subscribe button and tap that bell button right next to it so you know every single time that I post. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Bye.